Hello everyone, welcome back to Naan Bhai. This is me Ankita, and today we are going to make a birthday cake. A birthday cake is a vanilla cake with sprinkles in it. It is a very nice, delicious, moist cake that I'm going to be decorating today with Swiss meringue buttercream on the outside, the recipe for which I will share with you after the cake. And the reason I thought I should share this recipe with you today is because we're all under lockdown, and you know, a lot of us are having our birthdays in this lockdown season, and a bunch of shops are not open. So this is a very good recipe that you can bake at home for your friends and family. So a little bit about this recipe. This recipe requires very few ingredients, which is a good thing. And everything has to be at room temperature, all the butter, eggs and our cream. And I'm using these rainbow sprinkles. You can use any kind of sprinkle, just not the ones that bleed. And about the butter, so I have cut my butter in these tiny cubes. Reason being, one, if you start using them in anything, it's more uniform. And the second thing is that it is not right up the fridge and it's not very melted. It's like when I press down on this cube here, I can press it down, but it's not going to collapse instantly. And with the eggs, they all also have to be at room temperature. With vanilla, I'm using bean paste. You can just use vanilla extract, that's completely okay. So let's begin. So preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is also 180 degrees Celsius. I have greased an 8-inch pan, and I've put some butter on it and floured my pan, and this is ready to go, because once your batter is done, you don't want your batter to be sitting for too long. So keep everything ready. So I'm going to start by creaming my butter and my sugar together. So I've added my butter, to which I'm going to add all my sugar at once. And I'm going to start beating this up at medium-high speed. It's going to take about 5 to 7 minutes, and we want the butter and sugar mixture to be really nice, light and fluffy. At this point, I'm also going to add my vanilla bean paste. So this is what it's going to look like after adding our eggs and vanilla to the creamed butter and sugar. Now after this, I'm going to add my sifted flour and cream. So how we're going to add the flour and cream is flour in 3 parts and cream in 2 parts. That is, I start putting the flour in first, 1/3 of it, then add half of my cream, then the flour again, then the remaining cream, and then end it with the flour. That's it, and I'm going to mix the rest of it by hand. So I'm going to mix the rest of it by hand. I'm going to pour this cake batter into my pan. And I'm going to put this in the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes, or you could just insert a knife or a toothpick if it comes out clean if the cake is done. Also just make it a point that every oven is slightly different, so it could take longer than 40 minutes. So do check your cakes, but don't try to open your oven too soon, because the cake might sink down, and you don't want a cake that is kind of sinking in the right in the center. So I'm going to start with 35 minutes, and then I'll check my cake. So my cake is ready, and it took about 50 minutes in the oven. I let it cool down completely before I took it out of the pan. And once it was cool, this is what I used to slice my cakes. This is very convenient, very easy. You could even use a serrated knife, but this is what I used to slice my cakes. Now my cake slices are ready to go, and I'm going to quickly show you how to make buttercream, and then we'll decorate the cakes. So for a buttercream, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first put my egg whites and my granulated sugar into my mixing bowl. Then over a pot of hot water, I'm going to whisk my egg whites and my sugar till the sugar is dissolved in it. Basically what we're looking for, when you dip your finger into your egg whites and sugar and you touch it here, it should feel hot. And the sugar, the graininess of the sugar should disappear. That is what we're looking for. Once that is done, and then we start whipping our eggs in a stand mixer. So let's cook our eggs. So now I'm just whisking my eggs and sugar slowly till the sugar is dissolved over a pot of hot water. So my eggs are nice and hot, and if you're using a thermometer, what you're looking for is something between 140 and 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Or when you dip your finger and you touch it here to your wrist, it should feel nice and hot, and also the sugar will be dissolved. You will not find any sugar granules in it anymore. Now I'm going to start whisking my mixture using my whisk attachment and keep whipping it till it's cooled down. And once it's a little cool is when I'm going to start adding my butter chunks. Now the butter is getting mixed in. Once all the butter is broken down and in our buttercream is when I'm going to change to my paddle attachment to give it that nice silky smooth texture. So you see, the moment you start using the paddle, the texture instantly changes. So I have some tasting spoons here with me. I'm going to taste my vanilla. Perfect. Now I like how much vanilla is there in my buttercream. So I'm going to take this off my bowl and I'm going to start icing my cakes. So my buttercream is ready. I have my cake slices. Now I'm going to start icing my cake. So how I like to do it is the one that's the bottom part. I'll keep one of those in the bottom. Also, I'm soaking my cake a little bit with simple syrup. Simple syrup is very simple, that's why it's called simple syrup. It's 1 part water and 1 part sugar. That is, if you're taking 50 grams of sugar, then you have to take 50 grams of water. Bring it to a boil till the sugar is dissolved, and then you can cool it down and use it to soak your cakes. So I have crumb coated my cake, and I'm going to throw this in the freezer for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to take it out and start masking my cake. That is, I'm going to cover the entire thing with buttercream and then decorate it. So this has been sitting in the freezer for about 15 minutes, and now I'm going to start masking my cake. some sprinkles here, the ones that I put in the cake. I have some of these here, and I'm going to decorate the outside of the cake with a few sprinkles, and then I'm going to pipe a little design on top. We have a birthday cake. So this is what the final cake looks like. It is a very nice, fun, cute cake for a birthday party. Do try this cake out. It's a really good recipe. And let me know how the cake goes. Mention in the comments if you have any questions and queries. Please do feel free to ask. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.